You're not your situation or the energy causing you to feel like you're in it. Do this to rise above it and succeed. We all have things that we go through in life, don't we? That's what life is about. Going through things, being tested, and having to figure things out and move from there. When you're going through something and it's weighing down on you and you feel like that's all that's there, only thing you could focus on is what you're going through. Seems like you can't get that off your mind to save your life. It's just constantly presenting itself to you, and it seems like there's no escape. Try to put your mind on better things, and the fear, the doubt, the worry, it just keeps coming back. Because what you're going through seems so prevalent and in your face and there and just ready for you to deal with. And you feel like there's no way out. You feel like everyone else is flying past you, or you feel like everyone can do it except for you, or you think that you may just not be the one, or you don't have what it takes, or you're not good enough because of the situation that you're in. And it can make you feel like giving up. It can make you feel like losing hope, if you even have any hope there. Certain things, you have to dig deep to find them while you're going through things, because it feels like there's nothing else for you to focus on, or there's nothing else for you to put your mind on. All you know is your current life, the knowledge that you've accumulated thus far, and your perception of how things are going for you. And when things don't seem to be going the way they're supposed to, it could cause you to have a bleak outlook, no matter how much you want to succeed. And you might feel like giving up. That's where the hope lies. That's where your confidence, courage, and self-esteem, and all the things you need to get to where you're trying to get to, that's where you'll find them. It's a battle. It's a fight. When you're not where you want to be, and you want to be in another position, and you know you're worthy of it, you just may not know the correct steps to take, which avenue to go, or how to get there. And it could be frustrating. You see everybody else seeming like things are easy for them, or come simple to them, or it's just like magic, or maybe they have it or have something that you don't. But that's not true. That's not true at all. So when you look at yourself and you think about everything that lies ahead of you, and you're not sure how things are going to go, your mindset is everything in that particular time. You have to have better thoughts for yourself and what you want other than what you're currently experiencing. You have to. And once you come to the understanding and the realization that you're not your situation, if you can come to a conclusion such as that, you can begin to change things for yourself. There are people who can get out of certain situations, but won't walk through the door, or just won't go. There are people who have been put in a situation where they were prisoners of war, I believe, if this wasn't a riddle or a story or someone just creating a positive message. If this is real, I heard one time about someone saying that there was a person who was put up for suicide. He was a prisoner of war. They told him he could either run and go across. I believe I heard this from Les Brown. They said he could either go and run across a field into the unknown, or he could get his brains blown. And out of fear, most people chose to get their brains blown, and I think the gentleman did the same. And after they killed him, they asked the guy who was just standing there, I guess observing, maybe he was a new person. He asked him what was on the other side, and he said basically just nothing, like a field or just some grass, or basically like nothing you would have to worry about, even compared to getting your brains blown out. So most people will stay stuck in certain situations because they don't know how to get out of it. In that particular situation, it was fear that had that man stuck in the situation to where he chose to get his brains blown out. In order to get what you want and in order to become successful, you can't be afraid of the unknown. That's trying something different, doing something different, possibly even maybe moving around if you feel the need to, and if you're ready or if you're not ready. Because some greats have believed, and it worked for them, they believe that if you jump out, God will put a net underneath you. So while trying to figure things out when you don't know what to figure out, it feels like you may not be going anywhere. You may begin to get discouraged. You may think that it's over for you. But you can't stop there. You can't believe those thoughts. You can't believe those thoughts, because once you begin to believe those thoughts, that's when the devil can take over, and that's when your negative mind takes over. You have what it takes to succeed. And you know you do. You're not your situation. You may think you are, you may feel like you are, because that's what you feel is present. A lot of people who can't think past the present, there are some things that can, or what they feel is present in their life, there are some things and some techniques that they can do. There are some people who miraculously know how to make things work out for them. They get things possibly easy, maybe earlier, maybe a lot faster. And that doesn't take anything away from those that may need a little more time. But because there are people who are ahead of you or seem to finish before you, don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. Know that it could happen for you just like anybody else. And it can. And if you think it can, then it will. And that's it. That sounds simple. It's like, yo, did he really just say that? I did. Because some people can get so negative and so down on themselves that they don't believe they can. There are people who need to hear that they can. There are people who would frown upon something so simple, but when it comes to something difficult or something they wanted to achieve but didn't, they may not be able to take the same approach that they've done to everything else. See, some people do what's easy, and some people choose to do things that may be a little harder or difficult. And when people choose to do what's easy, even though it still has its difficulties and its trials and tribulations, and you still have to be a tough mug to get to certain easy, what you might think is easy positions or spots, or they make it look easy because that's their program. But whether it's easy or not, they probably make it look easy because they're good at what they do. But there are things, noise campaign, there are things that come easier to others and things that may not come as easy. And basically, there are things that would come easier to a person than maybe something they gave up on. There are people who do things, and even though it's difficult, they can do it. Then there are things that they may have not done because they felt it was too difficult. But when it comes to you doing something that you may feel you think you can't, if you think you can, that will give you a more positive idea about yourself than if you couldn't, if you felt you couldn't. So things that people don't think they can do, they don't get them done. If you think you can do something, you're going to do it. So for the people who have done things and they think that they can do it, when it comes to someone doing something that might be harder to do what they did, they may try to tell a person that they can't do it. So you'll have people who do things that come easy to them, or that's what they wanted to do, and now they make it look easy, and they felt that they can do it, and they did it. And then you'll have people who will take on a challenge, something challenging, something difficult, something that not everybody is doing, and they'll think they can do it. And you'll run into a lot of trouble if you tell people your plans because of what I just explained. So if you find someone that hasn't done something that they wanted to do or felt they could have done or were supposed to do, and if they know what you're about to do, it may be a possibility that they may project onto you that it can't be done because that's their approach. That's how they felt. That's what they think. And things are up to perception. Everybody is allowed to have their own mind, but when people know what you're up to and what you're trying to do, unfortunately, if they're not the most positive, they may try to convince you that it can't be done subconsciously, because and it may not even be something that they're doing on purpose. If that's how they feel and that's their mental makeup, then that's just what they're projecting. And if that's what they're projecting, and that's not what you're projecting, because you have a different projection and you have a different mindset, then you probably don't think the same way as they do. And you may be like, well, no one thinks the same way as someone else. You're right. And that's why you have to be somewhat secretive with what you're doing, because when people find out, they may end up projecting that idea onto you. When people don't complete things, or they don't feel they can do something, there's frustration there, there's anger there. People get upset, and if they don't know how to handle that or control that or figure out what they want to do, they may end up taking that out on you as a result. So it's best to not expose anything as far as your plans or what you want to do, because some people may know like where to try to sabotage you at, whether they're aware of what they're doing or not. Maybe they're aware of it and they're out to get you, or maybe you stirred up some negatives in them, some demons in them, because they haven't went forward with what they felt they could do or what they wanted to do, and they may have some resentment now for you because that's a space, or that's an area in them that they buried, that they put away, that they didn't want to deal with, and tried to act like it didn't exist. And when people when people see that side in you and it causes them to remember it in themselves, there may be some backlash for that. That's why you have problems with people at your job. That's why you may have problems with other people in other areas of your life, because you haven't given up and you believe that there's something that you can do. Everyone has something that they want to do, and not everyone is willing to continue to learn, research, figure things out, find out what they don't know. It's hard and it's difficult, because when you're trying to do something and you see things that look easier to other people and they just do it so effortlessly, and you may still not have figured out how to do it fully, you could be discouraged. You can think that you're not made for it, or you're not supposed to be doing that. You are supposed to be doing that, but you may have to figure out some things first, and that's what you're supposed to be doing also. You can't just want to do something. You have to figure out what it is you're trying to do. And okay, all right, if you could figure out what you're trying to do, then you stand a better chance of not giving up. A lot of people get easily discouraged when it comes to something they've never done, something big that they're trying to do, something that they've never done before. It's hard to imagine if you haven't already visualized yourself at the end. And that's why that's powerful. That's why visualization is powerful. When you visualize yourself at the end, it leaves small room for doubt, because if you have an image in your mind, if you already have done something, already have becoming something, but living like you're still working towards it, then you'll eventually get there, regardless of where you're currently at and if you're able to do it or not. You'll eventually figure it out, because things will be drawn to you. When you suppress an image in your mind of you doing something or what you want to do, everything else will flow to you almost like a magnet. Your mind becomes a magnet for the things that you want, the things that have to do with what you're trying to do. People, places, things will start to attract to you. And that's really how, another way that the law of attraction works. And that's why the law of attraction doesn't work for a lot of people, because they don't understand the mind working aspect of it. They may try to say something once, they may say it a billion times, but as long as, like, if they don't have an image impressed in their mind, it's not going to happen yet. You have to see it. All right, and that may even be where that saying comes from. I gotta see it. You gotta see it to believe it. That's some real spill right there. That may be about the mind, because if you could see it in your mind, then you could believe it in real time. You got to see it to believe it. So if you can see something in your mind, then you'll believe it. It'll eventually end up happening. There are people who have been told certain things when they were a child, unfortunately, and ended up in a bad circumstance. You're not going to be this, you're not going to be that. And it like, depending on if the child, like, everybody's mind is different. So if that child believed that person, then that would end up being, that could possibly end up being the road that child goes down. And it's only because the mind is programmable. The mind is programmable, just like a computer. If you put an image on a computer screen off of a floppy disk, that image is going to be on that computer screen. You have to use your thoughts like a floppy disk, insert them in your mind, and just keep doing it until you burn that image in your mind. And that's why it's called visualization. It's not just called visualize once or see it once. It's a practice, and it's also a form of prayer, where you take the time to see yourself as what you wish to be, not what you currently are. And that's how you could change your circumstances. Because if you feel that you're your situation, it's easy to see in your mind what you're already seeing in real time. People continue to see themselves sometimes as what they don't want. Can't see yourself as what you don't want. And there are people who, and the weird thing about this is there are people who are somewhat successful or see themselves as successful, and they'll bash what I'm saying. Not that I care, because everybody, like I stated previously, everybody has things that they want to be or that they want to do. And if they didn't accomplish it, then they didn't do it. So there's an area of their life where they didn't think that they could do something. Otherwise, they would have did it. So if you can convince yourself to think that there's something that you can do, and you want to do it, and you do it, then you would have done it. All right. People who have things have done things, and people who don't have things haven't done anything. You have to figure out what you can do. You have to figure out how you can do something and have something for yourself and get something for yourself. Because if you continue to think that it won't work out, or if you continue to think that things aren't going to go the way you want them to, it's not going to. But when you realize that you're not your situation, and you are whatever you program your mind to think, that's when things begin to change. That's where you can have a transformation in your life, by programming yourself to think the way you wish to be. All right. Seeing yourself as what you want to be already. But if you continue to see yourself as your situation, whatever that is for you, that's where your mind and your thoughts and your actions are going to continue to lead you to. Your mind, your thoughts, and your actions are going to continue to lead you to the same place that you see yourself in. If you don't see your way out of it, you only get out of things if you plan, and if you prepare, and if you make a way or want to get out of it. So if you're going through something and you feel that there's no hope, there is. If you feel that you can't do it, you just have to figure out a way to try and change the way you feel. I understand that things are frustrating, life is frustrating, it's hard, but a negative attitude doesn't help, because all it does is continue to hold you down. It's an anchor, it's a weight. A lot of people, their mind is like a mule. They're so mentally immature and so upset about what they can't do they give up in a sense and choose to just stay on the same level. You can't just choose to give up and stay on the same level. If there's something you feel you can't do, there's something else that you can think about your situation. And if you could think something positive about your situation, then you can expect to experience something positive in life. And that's why you're not your situation. Whatever you're going through, if you feel like it, you have to put a vision in your mind to make yourself feel different. You have to put a thought in your mind to make yourself feel different. And it's possible. And working your mind, this is why the Bible says, he who tills his land will have plenty of bread. You work your mind, you're going to have plenty of opportunities. You're going to have plenty of wealth, plenty of everything that you need. And that's guaranteed. All right. So there are people who have their ways of doing things. They go by the books. There's a strategy behind what they're doing. There's a plan behind what they're doing. But then there are some people who are a little more abstract. And they figure things out along the way. And they don't give up, so they continue to make a way. And as long as you continue to do that, you'll be where you want to be and possibly even further. You can get to wherever you want in life. You can have whatever you want in life. You can be whatever you want in life. Your time has to be valued, and you have to value it enough to use it correctly, how it's supposed to be used. Investing it. People will think that they have no money. Time is money. How you manifest money is by how you manifest period is by already being grateful for what you have. People don't have what they want physically or have things physically, so they think that it doesn't exist. You have as much wealth as you want because you have as much time as you want to invest into yourself, even if you don't think you do. You have as much time to invest into yourself as you want into whatever you want to be, do, or have. So you have ample amount of time. It's the matrix. Yes, you have to go to work. Yes, you have things you have to do. If you see yourself as having time to do what you want to do, time will be created for that. You'll create a space in the universe for yourself, which will allow you to have a slot in real time for you to exist in. All right. You'll be able to create a slot for yourself to exist in by your actions alone. You may not have anything physically. You have to start where you're at. And when I say you're rich because you have to find out what you're wealthy in. When you tell yourself you're rich and you thank God for money-making ideas, thoughts will flow to you, and you'll begin to realize that you have a never-ending, endless supply to offer. You have a never-ending value. You just have to invest in it and make it grow. You have to invest in it and better it and perfect it. Everybody has a skill. Everybody has a craft that they need to be honing and owning and working on and perfecting it. Might have said that already, but hey, double perfection is even better. So if you dedicate yourself to doing something every day, you'll find a drastic change in your life. You'll have profound change in your life just by dedicating yourself to do something every day. There's 24 hours in a day. It doesn't even have to be that long, the time that you dedicate to yourself. You just have to be consistent with something. You have to be consistent with a part of your day. You have to do something, take a step toward the area and the direction that you want to go in. And after taking all these steps, you'll end up where you want to be. And it's really that simple. It's just some people won't pick up their bed and walk. Picking up their bed and walk is only for those who want to. Many are called. I guess that's the many are called, few are chosen. Many people are called, but they don't want to pick up the phone. You have to find a way to pick up the phone in your life. You have to find a way to get the dice rolling in your life. All right, life is a gamble. Make a bet. You have to bet on yourself that if you go to do something, it'll work out for you. It may not seem like it right now. It may not feel like it right now. This camera's behind me, been on me the whole time right now. But it is what it is. All right, success is yours. You can have what you want. You have to be good to people and make the right decisions. Pray, ask God to forgive you for your mistakes. Be a better person. Learn from your mistakes. Sometimes you may feel somebody's wrong, but you may have to sit and listen to them. They may be telling you something that could save your life, even if you feel like you're in the right. You'll get to where you want to go because you already told yourself you would. That's why these videos are flooding across your screen. You believe in something inside yourself that not everyone is aware of. All right, have patience, have peace for yourself and others. Other people aren't aware of who they really are or what's really inside of them. And you are. That's a gift. That's a blessing. You should wake up every single day and be thankful and grateful for all that you have. And if you feel that you don't have anything, you need to practice gratitude, because that's a step towards realizing that you have a never-ending supply, realizing that you're abundant, realizing that you have resources beyond your imagination. And it all comes from inside of you. Once you tap in, once you get connected, once you realize that things can work out in your favor, because that's what you're telling yourself. You got to program your mind. What are you telling yourself? What do you believe about yourself? Sooner or later, it's going to stick. That's why I got this camera up like that, so I can see what's going on behind me. You throw something at the wall enough, I heard it'll stick. But when you do something every day, you dedicate time to a goal, a dream, or something you want to do, it's going to do better than stick. It's going to stay there. It's going to be concrete. It's going to be evidence. Because hard work changes things. Prayer changes things. Dedication changes things. Staying focused changes things. Believing in yourself changes things. A lot of people don't take the time to consider these things because it's simple. It may be corny. It may be stupid. But all the people who I've seen have what they want, be where they want to be, have the career, the job that they always wanted or dreamed of. That was their belief. So, just like the Bible says, according to your belief, so be it unto you. And what you believe is what you're going to get. You have to see it to believe it. If you can see yourself in your mind as what you want to be enough, you'll believe it, because you'll actually see it. There's someone right now, they see themselves going to work and they believe that that's what they're going to do. They see that in their mind. You have to stop seeing and believing in this program and program your mind to see and believe in what you want it to. That's all anybody does that wants to be, do, or have something. They realize that they have to work on themselves. They got to sow positive seeds in their mind, think positive thoughts, transform their mind, transform their reality. And you'll get what you want. You'll have what you want. Your mind is a powerful thing and a terrible thing to waste. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Time is a terrible thing to waste. You can't look at life like just because that mansion's not there yet, the car's not there yet. People think you're crazy because you can picture these things. That's why you don't tell them anything. You keep those things to yourself. Keep all those things to yourself. and let people think what they want. They may see you post something online or say something, out of sight, out of mind, out of earshot. They're not thinking about it. You don't bring it up, they don't know what the hell you're doing. Straight like that. So you're not your situation. You got to vibrate higher than that. All right. I know it's tough because that's what you see. That's all that's there. You have to use your imagination. Unless you be a child, you won't enter the kingdom of heaven. A child uses their, this stuff is simple, y'all. A child uses their imagination. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not using your imagination. If you don't believe in yourself for bigger things, you have no imagination. So if you have a mind, you have an imagination, magi, just like the people in the Bible that went to see Jesus, the magi. Your imagination. And really it's a magi nation because you're creating a nation using your imagination. You're creating something using your mind, whether you know it or not, whether it's success or failure, whether you're aware of it or not. And if you can have a small success, you can have a super huge one. It's just whether you believe you can or not. Some things are, this is the matrix, some things are so big, people can't perceive themselves as being able to do it. There are amazing things that people do every day, and people look at that person and say, how did they do it? Because they thought they could. Same story as two toddlers skating on the ice rink. One falls in the hole in the ice. The other toddler breaks a tree branch, busts the ice open, and frees his friend. And the tree branch is big enough for Arnold Schwarzenegger to pick it up. And when the police, paramedics, and neighbors and family and everybody in the neighborhood gets there, they say, how the heck did he pick that up? And this old man sitting on a bench looks over at him and says, there was nobody to tell him that he couldn't. And that's why it's important to keep things to yourself, because if you tell someone something and they discourage you and they mean something to you, or they know you hold what they say to some respect or some value, they'll try to put your idea or your dream down. And that's not cool at all. It's like, if you make it, you plan on helping people out and doing things and having people a part of your success, but then you find out once you tell people things, it's like they really don't want to be a part of it at all, as they actually don't even want to see you achieve it. And that's the sad thing about success. Not everybody's going to want to see you reach your goals. You have to keep them to yourself and just silently work on them and not say a word. Because there are people right now who are viewing you as not being able to get past where you are. There are people right now who have you pegged to only be what they see or what they view you as currently. They don't see you getting out of it. And the reason why people think like that is because there's situations and things that they don't see themselves getting out of. So for you to believe or think that you can get yourself out of something, it's like a far shot. They may not think it's possible. And it's based off what they may believe or what they think they see. But sometimes what you think you see isn't what I saw ain't what you really saw. So you thought, some people you just thought you saw a putty tat. All right, people think they see things, but it's up to you. It's up to your mind. It's up to your perception what you want to see. You have to be the you want the world to see. You can quote me on that. I'm sure somebody said it in one way or another. But that card just went back and came back. You have to be the you wish to see. And on that note, so we don't get any copyrights, I'm out. And I'm back. All right, so for anybody out there going through something and you feel stuck, this is a good way to get unstuck. It takes a lot of focus because life is hard. A lot of things get thrown at you. And let me not say hard, it's difficult. It may even be hard. But one thing I learned, and I learned it from Les Brown, he said, if life is hard, you have to do it hard. It may take you some time and some failures, some fall downs, some slips and falls, and not giving up to realize how to do it hard, but you'll eventually get there. There are things that have been difficult for people and they didn't give up and eventually just learn how to tough through the frustration and anger and sadness and bitterness of not being able to do what they want to do, not being where they want to be, and not having what they want to have. It makes you bitter, it makes you upset, makes you mad. But you don't have to be mad. That's why I make videos about that. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be bitter. You don't have to be upset. You can raise your frequency to whatever vibration you want to be on. You could be happy. You could be rich. You could be successful. Just like you plan out your life, you could plan out your mind. There are some people who know how to navigate this matrix like it's nobody's business. Then there are some people who live a more abstract life. Things will be presented at the right time for them. They'll grow, succeed, and get to where they want in life if they believe they can. And the thing about life is everybody has an opinion. You have to do your best to not get caught up in somebody else's opinion. And that's why it's best to keep people out your business. Even if you're struggling or something's hard for you, or you feel you can't do something, if somebody's not there to help you, or if they're not motivating you, keep it to yourself, because it may end up causing them to discourage you. It may end up making them look at your situation in a negative way, and in a way that now makes it look like it's harder for you when it's no different. Or you may not think that you could get out of it or be successful like you used to. And you don't want that to happen. It's up to you. If you are comfortable where you're at, then stay there. If you want to make a change, and if you know you can, and you feel you can, then do so. If you dedicate your time to do something every day and make sure that it's something worthwhile that will add to your life and not subtract from it, you'll be better off the next day than you were previously. And if you keep doing that, you'll be laying the brick every day, and you'll have a foundation that you built and set up for your life. People look at buildings and pass by them every day. They didn't just get there by chance. It didn't just happen by accident. It took workers, it took construction, it took time, days, weeks. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's raining, sometimes the weather's bad. They still had to either build it, or even if they had to take a break and come back to it, it still got built. So, and that's deep. That last part is deep. Even if they had to take a break to it because the weather's bad, you know, there's rain and everything else you got to go through in life, sometimes you have to take a break. But those who continue to do what they want because they want it bad enough, they'll end up getting it. If you want something bad enough, you'll end up getting it. If you want something bad enough, you will end up getting it. Everybody gets what they want every day, whether you're aware of it or not. And if you're not getting what you want, you still are, because it's something in you or something about you that's not in full belief, and you're not in alignment. Something is out of alignment, whether it's your time, your focus, your thought process, how you feel about it. These are all things you have to get in alignment to make something happen for yourself, especially if you're trying to do something out of the ordinary, or even if you're trying to just do something normal. You still have to be in alignment, or have whatever it is that needs to be in alignment to do that too. Some people strive for more, some people strive for less, but at the end of the day, we all still striving for something. So what are you striving for? You got to ask yourself that every day. What am I striving for? And then strive for it. Your life is not something that you want to waste. Life is not something that you want to waste. Even if you make one move every day, you'll still get to where you want. Can't want something and not do anything about it and expect to get it. Thinking about it is not enough. Wanting it is not enough. You have to want it bad enough to take action. And when you want something bad enough, you'll know. You'll put blood, sweat, and tears into it, all your time into it. Think about it every day. Even if you take a break from it, it'll be right here. It'll be right there, fresh on your mind. I'm working on this. I'm doing this. So, some people think differently than others. Some people want different from others. And that's why everybody's life ends up the way it's supposed to go. People's lives end up the way it's supposed to go. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, your life will end up being the way it's supposed to be. So find some things that you're supposed to do. Find some people to be around that hold you accountable. I'm telling you, find some people to be around that'll hold you accountable. Ask God to bring you some people in your life that'll hold you accountable, and ask Him to be ready for it, and be ready for it, because it'll change your life. If there are things you think you can't do, no matter how hard or frustrating it is, do it and keep trying until you figure it out. If something is hard and you do it every day, eventually you'll figure it out. You'll find out what's missing. You'll be able to see others and see what's not right or going right for you. Not that you're comparing yourself to anybody else. Not that you're comparing yourself to anybody else. But we all have heroes. We all have people we aspire to be like. We all have influences. We all have people that we've looked at their situation and been like, yo, I want that for myself. I see myself doing that, being that, having that. And if it's possible that they could do it, it's possible that you could do it. But you have to see what steps they took, or what they were involved in, or how they got started. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues, all right? You study successful people, you'll find enough clues to be able to put together a blueprint. That's why it's good to listen to successful people, positive messages. Read positive books. Because when you do, you'll stumble across something that will turn something on in your mind and allow you to look at something different and see it from a different perspective. And now, boom, whoop-de-doo. You done changed your life. You've been inspired. You've been inspired to keep going, to be motivated. And that's what life is all about. So, thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.